Alright, you know what time it is. Once again, as usual, time's at about that time. Not to tell time already, motherfucking. If you don't know what now you know, bitch, straight into it. Let's do this motherfucking shit. Okay, so this video that I'm about to make is going to be a case study analysis slash response, review, reaction, whatever you want to call it. We're basically gonna psychoanalyze this girl on my screen. Watch her video, listen to what she has to say. Since her pull-up and chat interview, I've been following her story for quite a while, and there's something about her I find very fascinating. I'm very interested in her. And I don't mean like I'm interested in her like I find her attractive or anything. I mean like, but her personality, the way she is and her story itself seems quite amusing to me. She's quite the character. But anyways, this video will be about a content creator that goes by the name of Murkerii Valentine. Her name is spelled a little differently, but I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, I first heard about her through the from another content creator called Pull Up and Chat, which I'm also subscribed to. You know, Pull Up and Chat, he goes around Houston interviewing people, daily street life, and he's kind of like what Zach TV was in Chicago, is what Pull Up and Chat is around Houston. I mean, he has pretty good content, and I find his content to be entertaining. Yeah, so he's a dude that be interviewing a bunch of like crackheads and like prostitutes and shit like that. It don't have to be it could just be like people who are from the hood, people who are from the streets, normal everyday people. And he'll just have a conversation with them. He be interviewing pimps, he be interviewing a whole bunch of motherfuckers around the Bissonnette area and what have you. But anyways, I seen her interview of Pull Up and Chat. And long story short, I thought it was a pretty good little interview. But pretty much after the interview, she started making YouTube content. And people started following her for a while, including myself. And honestly, in my opinion, I think it's a good thing for her to, you know, finally wake up and leave the street life and all that, and try to live a life, trying to enter into a better path and whatnot. And she makes YouTube videos doing updates, vlogging about her journey, leaving that street life on the Blade and in the red light districts. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, but anyways, besides the point, I wanted to make a video responding to a video that she made called PSA Hot and Bothered. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, but I only watched parts of it. And the gist of the video was just about her saying that I don't see why whenever white girls ask for money and people of other races ask for money, they get it. But whenever a black girl like me is asking for money, I'm met with backlash, or nobody really gives a fuck like that. Now I'll try to be as respectful as possible in this video, but I can't make any promises. Like I said, this video is going to be a reaction, so I haven't really seen the whole video. But anyways, without further ado, I think we should get into it. And if you're feeling this video, like, comment, subscribe, the whole nine. Now, whether or not this turns into a respectful review, response, or a rant, it could go either way. You'll never know. Now let's begin.
Hi guys, this ain't gonna be something long at all because I look tired, it's hot, and staff made residents leave because they were doing the most. They were trying to fight. So I just came from my pizza from like, you know, they said they're gonna call me back, and I just like went to Frenchie's. I'll go there tomorrow and stuff like that. But what I want to talk about, how I noticed when a white person or like anybody that's non-black asks for help from the internet, you get a bunch of mammies and Uncle Toms helping them and asking them what they need and all, sending them this and that. But when it comes to a female such as myself, my skin color, my skin tone, me being black, oh, why don't you make an OnlyFans? Oh, why don't you make a Loyal Fans? Oh, why don't you start dancing? Y'all like, it's never, y'all don't never mammy y'all own kind. Y'all are being mammies to people. Like it never said, like I've always wanted to bring up this topic.
The reason of why a lot of these non-black women can probably get a lot of money in donations is because these women come across as a lot nicer. They come across as feminine, and they know how to appeal to a man's provider instinct to want to take care of a woman. Unlike you in your videos, you come across like I don't think your skin color has anything to do with the reason of why people don't want to donate to you. The reason why people don't want to donate to you, I've watched enough of your videos to understand that the reason why people don't want to donate to you really is because of your attitude. Like, you come across as very rude, very self-centered, very arrogant, very self-entitled. Like, you just have an attitude and you seem like a mean person. Like, You portray yourself as the stereotypical ratchet, loudmouthed black woman with the attitude. Like, the white girls, they don't come across that way. Women of other races, they don't come across that way. And whenever they do, they get the same attitude of people not wanting to give shit to them just like you. It has nothing to do with race. It has a lot to do with your attitude. Now see, someone like me, for instance, I wouldn't give a fuck if you were black, white, brown, Puerto Rican, Asian. My thing is, I am the type of dude, like, I'm very stingy with my money. And the thing is, the only time I would give somebody my money is if you work for it in the same way that I had to. I don't like giving my money to someone who feels entitled, to someone who feels like the world owes them something. Like, I'm very stingy when it comes to my money. I'm very conservative, and I show a lot of discretion when it comes to people I give money to, because I don't want to get used. I don't want to get finessed. I don't want to get, railroaded or taken for the money that I work my ass off to get, because I got this shit out the mud. I work hard for my shit. But like I said, the women of other races, they know how to... The women of other races, they come across as more feminine, and they know how to bring the instinct in a guy to make them want to provide for him. And they don't come across as, entitled. They don't come across as rude or bitchy or like arrogant or spoiled. Like, nobody in their right mind is going to want to give any money to someone who's spoiled, to someone who feels entitled and who's just like, you have this fuck you pay me attitude, and nobody who works hard for their fucking money is going to want to give any of their money to someone with that type of attitude. I don't give a fuck how much money I have. I don't give a fuck how much you're struggling. And to be in the situation that you're in and have this level of entitlement and fucking ego, and then wonder why people don't want to give you anything. Maybe if you were a nicer person, maybe if you were less of a bitch, maybe if you were less rude and condescending to people, then maybe more people would sympathize with the situation that you're in. Look at how you act and behave whenever things just don't go your way. You're ranting and getting mad and taking your angers and frustrations out on people who are trying to help you. And throwing money at the problem is not going to solve it. Like the saying when they say, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. You have a lot of people trying to reach out to you to try to help you, and you're turning down that help. You're blocking your own blessings, and people are seeing you in real time show your true colors of just how undeserving of any help you really are. And then you're trying to make this shit about race, when at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with race. I wouldn't give a fuck if you were white. If you had the same attitude and mentality that you had, if a white woman had that same attitude, nobody would want to give her fucking ass any money either. And as the fuck they shouldn't. And I'm not trying to be mean or rude or nasty to you, but I'm just trying to let you know why, based off the videos I've seen you in, why people wouldn't want to give you shit.
Because it makes no sense. Like, it's weird. It's giving weird. And then I'm still getting bums in my DMs talking about some less work. I do not want to work with you. Ask your mama to work with you. Like, I'm tired of you broke, dusty men, like, coming at me with these, like, it's annoying. Leave me alone. Period. Like, stop. Like, and then it be these, and it be the broke men giving solutions. You're no help. Go sit down somewhere. Please, like, leave me alone.
And see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Within the first, how are you going to ask a question of why don't people want to donate to a black woman like me? Within the first 2 minutes of the fucking video, you have shown to people exactly the reasons why people would never want to donate to you. Look at how you're going off on people, insulting people, calling people mammies and Uncle Toms and you broke dusty men and all this shit. You're broke, you're dusty, you're like, look at you trying to turn your nose, looking your nose down at people who are in the same situation as you. My thing is, maybe if you showed a little bit more empathy for people who are in the same situation as you, then maybe more people would look at your situation and be like, hold on, let me, donate and give money to this girl who's suffering, who's in the situation she's in. These will be the same women talking about how black women are so unprotected and all, we're the least protected women. And look at how you act. Look at your attitude. Look at how you talk to people. Look at how you look down on people, and you have a fucking, just a very bitchy, condescending attitude towards people. Like, you're not an approachable person. You're rude as shit. Like, you just seem very unapproachable. You seem very bitchy. You seem very moody. You seem very just like nobody. Who the fuck would want to go out of their way to protect a black woman like you when you are everything, when you don't even know how to bring that type of instinct out of a man to want to protect you or to want to look after you or to take care of and respect you, like, or none of that shit, dude. The same women who will complain about how unprotected they are will be the same bitches talking shit about men like this and wonder why no nigga wants to either help you out of the situation you're in, nor do they ever want to be a provider for a woman like you. What man will want to protect a woman like you when all you are is an insufferable bitch?
Like, oh, I could see myself better because the sun was beaming real. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, I noticed that. Like, let's say if I was white or Hispanic and I came on here telling y'all my whole situation. Push your cash out, push your cash out, push your cash out, push your cash out. But y'all like, and I feel like the majority on here just like, I feel like there's a lot of people that just want to see what I'm doing instead of how I'm doing, like being nosy into my business. Like, so I'm not responding to any comments, never, ever, anymore, ever again. I'm done responding to comments.
How the fuck are you gonna say that people want to be nosy and they want to be all in your business, but then you make YouTube videos posting videos about your everyday life and all of these things? Like, how are you gonna post your personal life on YouTube for the world to critique and then get mad when people are talking about the very same business that you put out there? This is YouTube. You're on the fucking internet, man. This is what comes with the territory. You want the exposure of your life being put out there. The part of what comes with that is there's going to be positive and negative comments about your situation based off of what it is that you put out into the world. Same thing with me, same thing with other people who are content creators in the space of YouTube. Like, you're nothing special. This is a burden for everyone else to bear.
You know, what I post is what I post. Content I post is the content I post. Like, because, yeah, I just wanted to let that be known. And it's super hot. I'm annoyed. Like, I literally want to cry right now.
You said you feel like crying? Well, maybe you should cry. So maybe the tears rolling down on your face can cool you off from this hot-ass weather that we have in Houston. Shit, my nigga, that motherfucking humidity, boy. I'm sorry, let me stop. I ain't shit, man.
Because people look at me different because of my monitor. And I don't feel like this no makeup stuff is frustrating. This me not having no money is very frustrating. Me having to sit and just wait is very frustrating. Like, it's frustrating. And then I'm like, and then I got this one bitter old lady. She looked like a dog in the face. Like, she steady commenting on my stuff and I remove it every time. Like, is there a way I can block people from my page? Because, like, I don't need to hear that I have a sad life. I don't need to hear that. I don't need people to be like, oh, just don't say nothing. If you're going to type, oh, don't say nothing. Just watch it or like, don't say nothing. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me. Just know my situation. That's it. Like, it's frustrating because I've been trying. It's been like, I think 2 weeks. And I've been trying. I've been going everywhere. And I'm too fragile. It's too hot right now for me to be like going from place to place.
Now, see, that's why you need to grind. That's why you need to get it out the mud. That's why you need to get a job. And if you can't get a job, I mean, you've been in the street life for, would you say, about 3-4 years? I mean, come on. For as long as you've been in the street life, usually motherfuckers who are street smart, they gonna find a way out their situation one way or another. As long as you have that ambitious mindset, that's what the street life should have taught you. That's what it should have taught you, but apparently you didn't learn shit. Maybe you might need a little refresher's course, or maybe you could take advantage of the situation that you're in and learn how to live as a regular civilian. That's the thing. I don't think she's hungry. I don't think she wants it bad enough. She's not trying to get out of her situation like that. Because honestly, if she was, she wouldn't be waiting for somebody to get her out of the situation. You are not a victim. You are not a damsel in distress. You're not someone who needs saving. This is the real world. Survival of the fittest. And the only way that you can be able to survive is you either sink or swim. You can either be the fish of the ocean or you can be the shark of the ocean. Which one are you going to be? And see, the thing is, I'm not just talking to her. I'm talking to people who are in her situation and people who are in similar situations like her. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to struggle, to not have any money. But my thing is, I'm no longer broke anymore, but the situations that I work my ass off to make money, I got that shit out the mud, and I worked hard to get out of the situation that I'm in. You know, you're too busy caring about how you look, my makeup, my nails, my all of this shit. Like, to be honest, what's more fucking important? You looking good to impress outsiders you don't even fucking know, or you actually getting yourself out of the situation? And see, the fucked up part about it is, right, I actually tried to help her out of the situation she was in, because the thing is, like, she's in Houston, she stays in Third Ward. Houston is my neck of the woods. Houston is my motherfucking city. I know about Third Ward, Fifth Ward, A-Leaf, all of them motherfucking places and shit. You know, that's my fucking city. Houston is my town, my neck of the woods, born and raised, all that shit. So I know about. Listen, I fuck around, you know, taking time out of my busy day to just help her out, you know. I looked up places in Third Ward that were hiring. So I looked up the places, you know, from Indeed, the places that were hiring. You have an IKEA, you have a Petco, you have a Home Depot's always hiring, you know. So, and also you have Amazon was hiring, you know, they're looking for drivers. Let's see. In the Third Ward area, you have a PetSmart, you know, which is, I don't know exactly the place where she stays in Third Ward, but, you know, in the general Third Ward area, there's a PetSmart that is about 4.8 miles. Driving distance, you could get there really fast in about like 8 minutes, you know. It's depending on traffic and shit like that. It's pretty close to her area. I wouldn't say it's in her area, but it's fairly close. It's about 4.8 miles. That ain't shit. Then the IKEA place, that was like about like 12, 16 minute drive. I'm pretty sure that there's people with cars that she probably know that can get her to and from. That is if they still fuck with her. Now, places that I looked up that were actually in the Third Ward area, you have daycare. There's a lot of daycare jobs. There's daycare jobs. There's babysitting jobs around the area, etc., that are urgently hiring, might I add. And she says that she wants to have a job that she could work where she can still remain in her feminine. There's no better job to work at in that regard than being a babysitter and or having like a cooking job, catering, nurturing, that type of shit. Now, some of the places that I looked up were in the general Houston area, and then there were some of the places that I looked up that were like, you know, in her area, or if not in her area, at least around it. I even gave her like links to places that she could be able to apply to that were urgently hiring, you know, in her situation, like just near her area and all that shit. I'm pretty sure she didn't take a look at those applications. And she's saying that that's not the type of help that she wants. But my thing is, beggars can't be choosers. And right now you're in the situation that you're in as a beggar, okay? Throwing money at the problem is not going to help you. I would never give you any of my money for one of two reasons. You know, I would never give you any of my money for two reasons. First reason is because your fucking attitude. You have a very rude, nasty, entitled point of view. And I would never give any money to a woman who is in, like, I'm not a broke dude. I got money. Now, I'm stingy with my shit, but I got money. My thing is, I would never give a woman like you any type of money. The reason being, and I don't think anyone should give you money. The reason why is because your fucking attitude, you're mean, you're disrespectful, you're a bitch, you have zero sense of any type of concept of humbling yourself in the situation you're in. The reason why other women can get more money than you is because they're nicer. Maybe if you were a little bit nicer and treated people with more respect and you were less angry and just had less of a eat shit and die attitude, more men would want to give you more. And you being all bitchy and rude and all that shit, that's very masculine. Yeah, that's masculine. Like, yeah, you're masculine. You're very masculine. You think you're feminine and you look feminine, but underneath all that makeup, you are masculine. You are very much masculine. You have a very masculine attitude. The second reason why I would never give, or why you shouldn't give her any money, why I would never give you any money, is because you are very fucking irresponsible with money. Like, based off of the shit that you talk about, you're very irresponsible with money. You over here don't have any money, and yet all the money that you're spending on, you spend all your money on makeup, dresses, all of these stupid, frivolous things that's not going to get you out of the situation, or it's not going to be productive in getting you out of your situation. You care more about how you look to the public than you actually do out of getting yourself out of the situation that you're in. Fuck your makeup, fuck your nails, fuck all that shit, man. Which is more important, you getting out of the situation or you trying to aesthetically please people in public that you don't even fucking know. You trying to front for the public. Like, how the fuck, like, how you broke as fuck but still want to be bougie? Like, you can't do that. Your priorities are all fucked up. Like pick a struggle. Like, you got to be able to sacrifice one in order to achieve another. She over here talking about how a dude sent her $200, another dude sent her $350, another dude sent her, which I think is a lie, but another dude sent her like $1,000 just to stand there and get a portrait painted of herself. If all of these things are true, how the fuck are you still in your situation? Living in the situation that you're in? Living in a fucking shelter? Like, where's all that money and why the fuck aren't you saving it? I would never, nobody should ever donate their money to, one, someone with a fucking attitude and who's bitchy, and two, someone who has shown to be very irresponsible and does not know how to save their money to get themselves out of that situation that they're in. You care more about looking good than actually finding a place and food to eat. And the reason why she's in the situation that she's in is because a lot of these simp ass Captain Save-A-Ho ass niggas, they give her money that she doesn't appreciate and does not have to work for. So she feels like, if these niggas gave me money, then I'm gonna get it again from some other sucker, from some other nigga who's just gonna give me money, and just she thinks she's gonna get it every time. She thinks she's just gonna have money fall from Mount Olympus, and then motherfuckers is just gonna cater to her. And I was trying to talk sense to her, not even being rude, but I made a comment in her video saying how she needs to learn to be more self-sufficient and that she's not entitled to a man's money. Not even being disrespectful to her. She made an entire video about my one comment, going the fuck off on me and talking to me crazy. Like, I wasn't trying to tell her what to do or anything. I was just trying to talk sense to her and get her to see reality for what it is, rather than her witnessing her own false delusions. That's why you can never tell women the truth, because they don't ever listen. But it's all right. Keep doing your thing. More power to you.
Applying everywhere, and people looking at me like I'm a freaking criminal with this ankle monitor on me. Like, it's very frustrating. Like, I stopped wearing my lashes because I don't even have lash glue. I was using adhesive lace bond, and I barely have any more of that. So, like, why are you in my face? Anyways, like I was saying, yeah, got a lot of, it's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, it was this girl that I was like on the streets with one time. No, we were in the same shelter, but this was when we were on Montrose, right? So when we were on Montrose, you know, she tried to fight somebody in the Covenant House, and they were about to they did discharge her, and she had nowhere to go, right? So at the time when I was working, when I had a job, when I was working at my pizza, I gave this girl $80 that I like had no business giving to her, and this is while I was pregnant. Okay, y'all see how I told y'all that? So I reached out to her, I think this was like 2 weeks before I got here, asking her if I needed a ride, if she could lift me or at least help me out with some money to get to the shelter. And she was like, I'm not even in Houston. No, what I asked her, I was like, can I please I asked her, I was like, could I stay with you until tomorrow, because I think I'm gonna miss my spot to the shelter. She's like, I'm not even in Houston, but this girl was following me, watching all my stuff. Like, people really do not care. So I just blocked her, because like, I was a mammy to this female, and 3-4 years later, when I asked you for help, when I need a lift to get to where I need to go, it's not like I asked her for $100. I asked her if she had enough money to lift me somewhere, which was the shelter, and somebody ended up doing that for me. Somebody ended up lifting me to the shelter for me. But yeah, like, it's people like that. Like, I don't need no friends, fam.
Welcome to a man's world. See, you ended up giving this girl that you thought was your friend $80. You helped her out when she was in a destitute situation. And now that you want her to return the favor back to you, you see how she just gave you the stiff arm. But my thing is, like, what were you expecting her to do? You did something out of the kindness of your heart. You're not entitled or you shouldn't expect motherfuckers to do the same for you. And in the same way that you got the kindness of your heart being taken advantage of, men get the kindness of their heart taken advantage of by women all the fucking time. When a man typically does something nice for a woman and the man wants something in return, and it doesn't even have to be sex. It could just be like, I want you to do for me the same way that I helped you out, I would like for you to help me out. The women will try to turn it around on the dude and gaslight the dude to be like, well, just because you did this for me, that doesn't mean that you're entitled to XYZ. You helped me out of my situation, but that doesn't mean that, I have to do the same for you. Congratulations, now you know what it feels like to be a man. And she probably tried to make you feel like shit by being like, well, you gave me them $80 little that weren't even shit, and basically threw the kindness of your heart back in your face and made you feel like, damn, I should have never done this nice deed for her. I'm pretty sure there's times in her life where she's done the exact same shit to men and didn't even notice it, because whenever shit like that is done to men, people usually don't think anything of it. But when it's them, now it's a problem.
Because people just want to be in your business and they either want to be nosy or know what you have going on, and it's just disgusting. Like, I'm not responding to no comments. I appreciate the supportive comments and stuff like that, but I'm not giving no more of myself for free. And that even comes to like responses and shit, because I'm getting sick and tired. I'm very frustrated, and I barely got any sleep last night. I'm just letting y'all know how my day went. And the thoughts that's crossing my mind, like, and the majority of the men that's following me is a heap of black men. And I feel like people are watching me to watch me. I don't know. Like, it's just. I'm glad I'm not selling myself. I'm glad I'm not on the street. I'm glad I'm not homeless. I'm glad I'm not, like, and it's another thing, like, I can't even eat the food at the shelter because I threw it up. I throw all the food up. Like, they give us expired food. They give us bad food. And sometimes when they give us food, they take the date things off, so we don't know when the food expired. They do all of that on purpose. They take the tags off and everything, so we don't know when it expired. And then I just went through, man, I'm asking people, just like, especially you men, like you black men, because it's nothing but black men that's following me or like on my page bothering me with this broke ass shit, talking about some less work. Go work with your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need nobody to help me work, do nothing. Like, unless you gonna come with it, just stay out of my face, because it's a waste of time, and I don't have time. I don't.
And then the mystery I'm trying to solve is she's going on the internet talking about how bad her situation is online in front of people that she doesn't know to try to reach out for help. But then the thing is, you would assume that, does she not have any? I'm pretty sure she has brothers, she has sisters, she probably has like half siblings or like people, extended family that can help her out of her situation that she's in, instead of her asking random strangers online to come help me out. Like, who the fuck? Like, do you understand? Like, I'm pretty sure that there's people in her life who she knows personally that can actually reach out to her. And the fact that, and see, this goes back to her attitude, her being mean and rude and nasty. My thing is, if she's like that, if she's displaying this type of attitude on the internet, imagine how she's like to the people that she knows. For as beautiful as she thinks she is, or whatever the case may be, for as pretty as she is, it's like you have extended family and people who you know that won't even help you, won't even reach out a hand to like get you out of the situation that you're in. You know what that means? Like, my thing is, like, your attitude is probably so fucked up that even your family don't even fuck with you. Even people in your life that are related to you don't fuck with you, man. Your family don't fuck with you. Your friends don't fuck with you. Like, what does that say about you? Like, that shows that, like, for as pretty as she is, for as attractive as she is, she apparently is a very unlikable person that even her family don't even want to fuck with her. Even people who are her so-called friends don't even want to fuck with her. And even if it's no fault of her own, she has very little discernment in terms of picking people who are real friends. She doesn't know what a real friend is. She comes across as very hard-headed, and she doesn't listen to good advice being given to her because she's so used to thirsty dudes coming at her with the intention of wanting to either sleep with her or, try to run game or whatever the fuck. But my thing is, I'm not one of those guys. She's so used to dudes lying to her, telling her what she wants to hear, whispering sweet nothings in her ear, that whenever a dude like me actually tells her the truth about herself and about her life, and she's told the truth, she doesn't want to listen to it because she's so used to being pedestalized. She's so used to being told she's pretty. She's so used to being told that, her shit don't stink and nothing is wrong with her, that her mind becomes gassed. She becomes very gassed up and deluded, Oh yeah, but like I'm thinking to myself, it's like, how many bridges have you burned with that attitude of yours that even people in your family wouldn't even want to fuck with you? And if what I'm saying is wrong, that you wouldn't even be in the situation that you're in right now. And that's a fact.
Really had time. I had to tell somebody at the shelter to get the heck out of my face. Like, it's this one Hispanic dude steady following me everywhere. Bro, you ain't got nothing for me. You don't have nothing for me. You can't do nothing for me. We both in the shelter. Why are you in my face? Why are you following me everywhere? What type of money do you have? Get you some business. I'm walking everywhere. I'm a whole woman job searching. Why are you on me? Why are you following me? And then I tell him, I'm like, you're not doing nothing for me. He says he's talking about something. I don't have to have nothing for you. Then you need to get out of my face because you're a bum. You're a bum. You're a grown-ass man. Follow me around wondering what I got going on.
I mean, technically, he's right. He shouldn't have to have anything for you. But at the same time, if you don't like him or if you don't want him around for any reason, you should tell him to get the fuck away from you, and that's that. The thing is, the reason why he probably likes you, he's feeling you, he wants to talk to you, but you're not interested in him, which is fine. You have every right to turn him down, tell him to get lost and everything like that. That's fine. Technically, he doesn't have to give you any of his money. And the thing is, initially, within first contact, you don't like him, you don't want him, you're not interested in him, there's zero sexual attraction there. So why the fuck are you even entertaining this dude that you don't like by trying to tell him to give you money? Like, why are you doing that? You're trying to entertain dudes that you don't like by telling them give you money. And then you get mad when those dudes feel entitled to want to sleep with you, or whenever they do give you money or whatever the fuck. You can't get mad at a man's entitlement to, like, in the same way that a man is not entitled to sex from a woman. Just because a man gives you money or whatever, he's not entitled to sex. But at the same time, you're not entitled to a man's money. It goes both ways, And my thing is, like, why are you entertaining niggas that you don't like, that you don't see building a future with, or none of that? You're saying that you're looking for a dude as a provider. You know that if the attraction isn't there, and if you don't like this dude, why are you trying to ask for his money? My thing is, if I was a woman, there would be no way in hell that if I didn't like a dude or if I wasn't attracted to a dude, I wouldn't even want to, I don't even want your money. Like, I don't like you. You're creepy. You're weird. You're all of this shit. I'm not attracted to you. Just get away from me. I don't want shit from you. Why are you trying to take from a dude that you don't even like? That's stupid. That's how you put yourself in dangerous situations and then wonder why. You got niggas stalking you and niggas harassing you and won't leave you the fuck alone. You keep entertaining niggas you don't like by trying to ask for their money. Why are you asking anything from a dude that you don't even like at all? The fuck? It's giving you trying to play games. Like I said, you're not a fucking victim. Stop asking dudes you don't like for fucking money. Because you don't deserve what other people work hard for. And honestly, all you're trying to do is use and finesse niggas. And who the fuck is going to look at you trying to do shit like that to somebody and would want to fucking donate anything to you? At this point, I'm not even talking to her. I'm talking through her. And I'm trying to reach out to a lot of these niggas who are wet behind the ears about female nature and the type of bullshit that these women are on and how to stay the fuck away from females like this who want to waste your time and try to finesse dudes. Because it seemed like she's on that timing.
Like, make it make sense. I'm a woman. I'm not supposed to be working hard. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody's views is. I don't care how nobody mama raised them or none of that. Because your mama was probably a pick-me and your daddy was probably a motherfucking dusty. So don't come at me with my mommy worked hard and da-da-da-da-da. I don't care.
Where the fuck did she get the concept of she's not supposed to be working hard because she's a woman? My thing is, just because a man and a woman's roles are different in society, that doesn't mean that the woman shouldn't be working hard at all. Who the fuck taught her this stupid shit? My thing is, there's women that work hard and there's men that work hard. Now, see, we work hard in different ways, but that doesn't mean that when you're with a man, you should just be a lazy spoiled, entitled bitch that just sits off her lazy ass and does nothing.
Yeah, but anyways, what I think she fails to understand about what the fuck it is that she's saying is the simple fact that like a lot of women who go out and work, some of these women don't have to work. Some of these guys are like, well, my woman doesn't have to work if she doesn't want to. Some of these women choose to work to be able to, out of their way, they go out of their way to work so they could be able to, choose to support their man and hold it down for their nigga and all this type of shit because they want to be able to, support the man. Because that's just something that they want to be able to do. They don't want to just be fucking dead weight, Even if the man has enough money to take care of the both of them, I mean, some women still want to have that sense of security and knowing that, I am a contributing member and trying to, do what it is that I can to make this relationship work, Let's say if the relationship goes bad, I'm going to have enough money to either keep me afloat or I'm going to have enough money to where if my man is injured or he loses his ability to provide, we can be able to stay afloat for some time, In the same way that being a fucking stay-at-home housewife is a choice, a woman going to work and making money, that is a choice as well, both of which should be respected. Neither one should be admonished by the other to be like, oh, well, you're a pick-me because you try to go out and work. Some of these women choose to work. Some of these women want to work. That is a freedom that they choose to do. Just like how you choose to sit on your lazy ass and do nothing, to support the man who's doing everything for you, demanding everything while giving nothing, that's something that you choose. Most women don't want to feel like a burden, so they choose to be like, let me support the man that I'm with. And it's something that they choose to do. Nobody's making them do it. And even if you're not going to have even if you're not going to have a job and work, you still have to be like useful in other ways, like cleaning up the house, taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, all this shit. If you're not supportive in any of those ways, then you're essentially dead weight to this man. And why the fuck would anybody want to be in a relationship where it feels like the only person doing all the work is them?
All right, first of all, let's unpack what the fuck she said. She said, because she's a woman, she shouldn't have to work at all. So basically, she should just sit on her lazy ass and just let people just support her while she does nothing. She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean. She just stays her ass in the house and just exist. So she's like a fucking child. And then she has the motherfucking audacity to try to shame working women by saying your mama was a pick-me and your daddy was a motherfucking dusty. Like, first of all, who the fuck are you to try to turn your nose at women who are in a better fucking position than you are, who don't use their femininity as an excuse to limit them just to be a money-hungry, gold-digging, self-entitled, self-centered, arrogant bitch like you that has nothing going for herself? You want to disrespect women who work hard? You want to put down working women? Now, because my thing is, let me take up for women for a second, man, because this bitch had the audacity to talk shit and look down on women who are in a better position than she is. These women work hard for the position that they're in. These women don't feel entitled to other man's belongings. They know how to pick a man worth a fuck unlike you. They know how to bring the provider instinct out of a man to make a nigga that they would want to give him everything. Unlike you, you're spoiled, you're entitled, you don't deserve anything. How dare you talk shit about these hardworking women that are loyal, that hold it down for their dude when things get rough, that invest and believe in their men, and you want to call these women pick-me's? And see, I like it when women try to use pick-me as an insult. How the fuck is it an insult to be a pick-me? At least these women are getting picked. These women aren't struggling like you. These women ain't on the streets having to sell pussy like you. These women don't have ain't shit niggas. They don't have kids from ain't shit niggas like you. And then you want to insult them by calling them a motherfucking pick-me. Well, it's better to be a motherfucking pick-me than a pass-me. These pick-me women that y'all make fun of or whatever, they're getting the men that y'all want, the provider dudes. The guys that invest in them, they're not complaining about how, oh, we're unprotected and none of that shit. Only bitches making that argument is you. You want to call a woman a pick-me, but you're mad she's getting picked and you're getting passed. You get passed on in relationships and you get passed around by the whole squad, you cum rag bitch. You're a human cum dumpster with zero value in the SMV dating market, but you want to call someone a pick-me. These so-called pick-me's are getting rings on their fingers, while all women like you get is kids from dudes that ain't shit. Cause see, unlike a pick-me, y'all pass-me's, shout out to Danica, y'all will always make it to the bed, but you will never make it to the altar. And that's just a fact of life. Like, how the fuck would you feel if somebody just said, well, the reason why your mom sat on her lazy ass is because she was a gold digger. She was a lazy gold digging bitch who did nothing but saw your father work his ass off while she just sat there and did nothing. Your mother was a lazy bitch and a gold digging cunt.
You're making fun of hardworking women. You're making fun of people's moms who had to work hard to get their money. And then also you're making fun of men, calling them dusties because they don't have as much money or they don't make as much money as your dad or whatever. Just because you don't make any money, or hold on, scratch that. Just because you're in a situation as a man to where you're struggling to make ends meet, that does not make you a fucking dusty. That does not make you a brokey or a dusty or none of that shit, dude. There are men out there who are great fathers, who spend quality time with their kids, that teach their kids life lessons, that are hella good fathers, and just because they don't make as much money as you think they should, they're fucking dusties, or you look at these men as less than, because they're not making as much money as you would have liked them to, you're shaming other people who are in a different situation than you are, while expecting motherfuckers not to do the same for you. How would you feel if I were to say that your mother was a lazy, money-hungry, gold-digging bitch, and your daddy was a fucking simp? Your daddy was a Captain Save-A-Ho-ass beta male fucking simp. That would be an insult, and you wouldn't like that shit, man. Don't fucking insult and disrespect people's living situations just because they differ from yours. And just because niggas do not make a certain amount of money, that does not mean that they are less of men. Just because you live in a two-parent household where both people work, that doesn't mean that the man is less than or the woman is any type of woman who's going through abuse and is a fucking pick-me or somebody seeking male validation or whatever the fuck you're trying to say. That's stupid. Like, how dare you? How fucking dare you? If your woman wants to work and make money, and you work and make money too, and y'all take y'all money together and build together, that is the perfect relationship. Because both of y'all guys are making money, y'all are combining y'all income together, and it's not just one person doing all the work while another person sits their lazy asses and do nothing. And there's nothing wrong with the woman staying at home, you know, and the man working, but it doesn't mean that because your woman is working too, that you as a man are less than, or you are less than because you're not making as much money as, you know, somebody who is rich. Women have to do their part in supporting the man too. You know, it's not just men do everything for women while women sit their ass and do nothing. Women have to do their part too. Cook, clean, cater, nurture, support, hold the man down. You know, when things get financially difficult, you know, these are the things that are essential when it comes to holding a productive relationship when it comes to men and women. Now, because she's disrespecting hardworking women and men, blue-collar men who work their asses off to try to struggle and make ends meet. The people who are the majority, men who work their asses off to provide and put a roof over their heads for their family, who sacrifice happiness for their children, man, to make sure that their kids are good and financially, like, they do everything they can. They sacrifice their blood, sweat, and tears, put their life, heart, and soul on the line. For you to insult these men and call them fucking dusty because they don't want to give you any fucking money? And then if these niggas give you money, all you're gonna do is kiki and laugh in their fucking face and try to finesse these dudes and use them. Because niggas won't allow themselves to let you use them, they're broken dusty? Fuck you. You gonna call these women pick-me's who work hard for their fucking money and then men dusty because they don't want to give you money. Fuck. And these are the same niggas that you're asking for money while looking down on those same niggas. You're not gonna look down on me and then ask me for my money at the same time. And I'm talking to y'all niggas who watch this bitch sit over here talking shit, looking down on you niggas, disrespecting y'all niggas while trying to ask you to give her fucking money. And you niggas listen to this shit? I don't give a fuck how pretty she is. Fuck that bitch. What makes her think that she has the right to do that shit? And you simp ass niggas is gonna fuck around trying to give her your money? After watching this fucking video, nobody should ever give this bitch any fucking money. If you give this bitch any money, you're fucking stupid. Disrespecting and bashing the shit out of men, the builders of society and civilization, disrespecting them, disrespecting men like your father, who probably worked his ass to make it to where he's in the position that he was in life. It's just fucking sad, man.
Especially you men, like you black men, because it's nothing but black men that's following me or like on my page bothering me with this broke ass shit, talking about some less work. Go work with your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need nobody to help me work, do nothing. Like, unless you gonna come with it, just stay out of my face, because it's a waste of time, and I don't have time. I don't. Rarely had time. I had to tell somebody at the shelter to get the heck out of my face. Like, bro, you ain't got nothing for me. You don't have nothing for me. You can't do nothing for me. What type of money do you have? Get you some business. Why are you on me? Why are you following me? And then I tell him, I'm like, you're not doing nothing for me. You need to get out of my face because you're a bum. You're a bum. You're a grown-ass man. Follow me around wondering what I got going on. Like, make it make sense. I'm a woman. I'm not supposed to be working hard. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody's views is. I don't care how mama raised them or none of that. Because your mama was probably a pick-me and your daddy was probably a motherfucking dusty. So don't come at me with my mommy worked hard and da-da-da-da-da. I don't care, because my daddy before he, I don't care. I'm going to keep talking about it. My daddy took very, 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 very good care of his kids and his wife and his everything else at home. I never needed or wanted for nothing. I ain't touch a synthetic wig in my head until I started messing with these broke bummy ass pimps. Talking about some, they want to take you to get the cheapest stuff. Did y'all know I've been wearing Brazilian bundles since I stayed with my father? My father ain't never once ever imagined putting no synthetic stuff in my head. Like, that's another subject I wanted to touch.
It's funny to me because whenever she's making videos talking about her father, she doesn't really talk about the type of man that her father was. The only thing she talks about regarding her dad is, my dad was rich, he gave me everything I've ever wanted, I didn't want for anything, and he supported my mom and everyone in my family while he worked his ass off, and he made sure that I never wanted for anything. So basically your dad spoiled you and you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. But the thing is, you never make any videos about who your father was past the money, past him being able to provide. What type of person was he? The only thing you bring up about your dad is money and the stuff that he bought for you, as if the only thing that made your dad a good man was how much money he made. Well, in my personal upbringing, there are times when my dad had money and there are times when my dad didn't have money. And regardless of how much money a person has, I'm able to share fond memories with my dad that transcends past how much money that was spent on me or the family, the type of memories and the time spent with my father that money can't buy. Those are the things that I remember about my dad. My parents are foreigners. They came from nothing, from Africa, came from nothing. Both worked hard. My mother held it down for my father when times were tough. And now that my dad is a success and make a lot of money, now he elevated my mother to a higher position. Whatever happened to building with a man? The thing about women like this is they want a dude who has it already, and then God forbid if that dude breaks his leg or he's unable to provide, she's already going to have her bags packed with one foot out the door, ready to leave. Whenever times get tough, she's not going to be able to hold it down, or she's not going to be able to cater or nurture this man back into good health. The thing is, that's what most men are looking for in a relationship. It's like, when times get tough, can you still stand by my side? And then women who are gold diggers, they'll be like, oh, well, if a guy really cares about and loves a woman, he'll spend money on her to show that he cares. I mean, spending money on somebody doesn't mean that you care. What should be more important than money is time. And if all you care about is money, then that means that you could be easily bought. And you're not someone who's loyal, meaning that you're not relationship material. Because the type of love that a lot of men are looking for when it comes to relationship is the type of love that can't be bought with money, or the type of loyalty that you can't buy with money. And where the fuck do they get this idea that the amount of money you spend on a woman means that you care about them? I mean, back in the days of slavery, white people spent their money on fucking slaves, on African Americans as slaves. Does that mean, those slaves cost a lot of money. Does that mean that those white people cared about the slaves because they spent a lot of money on them? Like, it's stupid what she's saying. But anyways, getting back to what I'm saying, it seems like the only thing that she really talks about when concerning her father is the amount of money that was spent on her. That this is what my dad did for me. My dad bought me this, he bought me that. He gave me this, he gave me that. But she never talk about him as a person. The type of man that he was past the money. The type of man that he was past spoiling you and his wife. Like, what were some of the things that you learned or some of the memories that you experienced with him that you'll remember for the rest of your life that didn't have anything to do with him buying you shit? Like your first bike ride, going on roller coaster rides, listening to music in the car, watching TV shows with your dad, spending quality time. You talk so much about what he bought for you, but if there was ever a moment in his life where he lost his ability to provide, would you have loved your father the exact same way, or would you have just looked at him as just another Dusty like you look at these other dudes? From what you're telling about your dad, he did seem to be he seemed to be a great man, but his ability to provide is not what made him a great man. It's the person he was behind that. In the same way that you women want to be looked at for more than just your body and how you look, It's the same way that us men want to be looked at from you women, past what we provide. Will she still like us for us? Honestly, would you have felt that same love for your father had he been a broke man? Because it seems to me, and this is from an outside looking in vantage point, I don't know anything about your life other than what it is that you speak on the internet, but from just what I'm seeing, and I could be wrong. Matter of fact, I hope I am wrong. It seems to me like the only thing, from what I'm looking at whenever you bring up stories pertaining to your father, it seems like the only thing you miss about your dad is like the only thing you miss is the bag. It's like you miss the bag, you miss the money, you miss him spoiling you and giving you everything you've ever wanted and everything he can do for you. It seems like you miss that more than you actually miss him. It's like whenever you talk about your dad, all you bring up was money, as if all he ever was to you was just a walking ATM. And then you're looking for the same providers and men that your dad was to the women in his life, so you can turn around and treat the new man that you're with the exact same way. And the nigga should just want to do all these things for you just because you exist, just because you fucking exist, and because I'm pretty. The fuck? Now, in my personal situation, my thing is, I typically find myself spending more quality time with the family in times of financial struggle and through economic disparity, because to be honest, these are the things that bring us closer together as a family. And when you're with someone through the tough times and they finally get up, these are going to be the things that they remember. And these are the things that transcends anything money can buy.
But it's too hot right now for me to get really deep into it because I'm sweating and like I'm irritated because people at the shelter want to be ghetto and they kicked everyone out simply because they want to act like heathens. So yeah, I decided not to record this in McDonald's because I don't want them in my business and they be playing music and I don't want to get a copyright claim. I may seem, I don't know. And then when I went to my pizza, the lady was just looking at me crazy. Like, why do other women look at me like that? Like, why? Like, these people, they hate themselves so much and I can't even take it personal no more. It's getting on my nerves to the point like, why are you breathing? Why are you breathing if you hate yourself and your life so much? Like, why? Like, why? Like, people be so miserable and they wake up every day and they take that out on other people. It's disgusting. It's giving, I don't know, like, it's hot, I'm tired, and I just wanted to, like, do this. I'm gonna do, like, 4 new other videos later, but I just wanted to put this out. I don't know. This is my frustration. Like, this is not it. Like, I'm not used to this. I'm not. My father wouldn't even let me have a job. Like, you get what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Why is the police looking at me like that? I'm not even doing nothing. I'm just sitting here. Like, make it make sense. They just driving by looking at me weird. Like, for what? Why are you looking at me?
Maybe the reason why people are looking at you is because you're out in public talking out loud and they don't see your phone, so people assume that you're talking to yourself. Oh, who the fuck is she talking to? Is she a crackhead? Is something wrong with her? Should we put her in a mental institution? Should put her in a psych ward? Nah, but I wouldn't worry about it. Lots of evil geniuses talk to themselves. It isn't always going to be because people are trying to stalk you or people think that you're pretty or you're all that or whatever the case may be. I mean, you're having a conversation loud as hell, and people are looking back and be like, who the fuck is she talking to? Oh, okay, well, I see she's making a video. Okay, well, all right. Nothing to see here. Moving on. Not everything is always that deep. Let's chill out.
Like, people just, man, let me go, because I think stuff is crawling on me, and I'm not messing with this, like, at all. But, yeah, this is the other dress I got. So, I got, like, 2 dresses and pants and stuff like that. But I'm about to go inside because it's hot, and hopefully they have something edible to eat for lunch because they be serving trash.
Well, you know what they say. You are what you eat. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I gotta stop being mean. I'm sorry. Let me stop. These are just jokes, people. I gotta be entertaining for the crowd. All right. Anyways, moving on.
When they don't have anything good that I like to eat, or when they have like stuff that makes my stomach upset, I just drink water. Like, honestly. But yeah, let me go, cause.
Well, that's pretty much all I have to say, but until then, I'm out. My final thoughts, my thing is, I will try to end this video positively by saying, listen, I followed her story for a while because, it was interesting. She was someone going through a lot in her life, and she was looking for a way out. And she's at least trying to make a change for herself, She's trying to better her life. She's trying to leave the previous life that she used to live. And, I'm not going to solely bear all responsibility on her because honestly, it's the circumstances in her situation that made her who it is that she was as a person. Like, she's been through a lot in her life. She's dealt with a lot of ain't shit dudes. She's been beaten. Like, she's had guns pulled out on her and shit. She's lived a pretty rough life ever since she's entered the street life and whatnot. And when you're living a dangerous life like that, it's hard for any woman to be able to thrive in her femininity. That's why she comes across as mean, bitchy, aggressive, and masculine and shit, And she takes her unfair treatment that pimps have given to her, and she takes it out on all men. And my biggest fear is, like, typically women who have been through shit like that, they're going to come across a good man. And since they're so used to being abused, they're going to see the guy who's trying to treat them right as a dude who is weak. And they're going to start to take advantage of the non-pimp, the dude who isn't a pimp, or the dude who's not out in these streets beating on women or none of that shit. It's like the so-called provider dude has to put in 10 times the amount of work that you so willingly gave. The provider dude has to work 10 times harder for the same amount of time and energy that you gave so willingly to the pimps for absolutely free. Now, when it comes to fixing up her life for the better, I wish her the best. But when it comes to actually her finding a relationship, oh my God. With the attitude and her outlook on men that she has, I hope she never finds it. Because if she does, then poor guy. But yeah, like I said, she doesn't need to be thinking about any relationship until she gets her life together by herself, without anyone's help. But anyways, best of luck to her and her future endeavors. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say, but until then, I'm out. You already know what it is, man. It's the underdog motherfucking soldier. And on behalf of all the real niggas everywhere, I've spoken. And I approve this message. Deuces.